Organization 13 is a fictional group of characters featured in Square Enix and Disney Interactive Studios' Kingdom Hearts video game series. The group comprises 13 beings without hearts called Nobodies. The organization was originally introduced in the Secret Battle of the Unknown in the bonus trailer of Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, Another Side, Another Story, Deep Dive, where their Japanese name was translated as the 13th Order. The group was later introduced as the organization in the game Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories, where they serve as the main antagonists, and returns in the same role in Kingdom Hearts II. Organization 13 is prominently featured in Kingdom Hearts 358/2 days as characters available for play, along with a new female member named Xion. Several members, prior to becoming Nobodies, appear in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, return following their restoration in Kingdom Hearts 3D, Dream Drop Distance, and will return in Kingdom Hearts 3. The group was moderately well received by reviewers. Comments focused on their difficulty as adversaries and mysterious nature which fueled expectations of future titles. Roxas specifically received press comments, focused on his introduction in Kingdom Hearts 2. Concept and creation. The Organization 13 characters were created by Tetsuya Nomura, director of the series, and other members of his development staff. The concept began with Xemnas as the first member and Roxas as the last. Each member's name is an anagram of their name prior to becoming a nobody, with the letter X added to it. As of the end of Dream Drop Distance, the names of the organization members' original selves are all known except for Demix, Luxord, Marluxia, and Luxine. The emblem associated with the Nobodies and Organization 13 was designed to look like a splintered heart as a complement to the Heartless emblem. In terms of good and evil, Nomura tried to portray the characters ambiguously. Throughout the development of the games, Nomura has often left certain events related to and connections between the Organization 13 character Sayuro along with the series' other character Sayuro unexplained until the release of sequels. He feels that games should have room for fans to speculate and use their imagination. In Chain of Memories, the staff had several of the organization's members defeated as part of the plot. For Kingdom Hearts 2, Nomura intended to allow players to fight these members again at the Colosseum. This idea, however, was dropped due to time constraints. Instead, the characters were included in Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix along with the rest of the members as data-based versions in separate optional boss fights and in a new location. Since the battles were optional, the difficulty levels of the fights was increased and the Chain of Memories exclusive characters were given previously unseen powers. After working with the first game, Nomura gained interest in Mushroom Heartless, most of which served to gain rare items in the title. This interest continued during the development of Kingdom Hearts 2. He intended to add new variants in the game, but was unable to do so due to time constraints. Consequently, they are featured in the Final Mix release as the Mushroom 13 Heartless wearing black cloaks that also mimic traits of the Organization 13 members. For 358/2 days, the developers believed the organization and its large number of characters was a good fit for the intended multiplayer gameplay. Once the group was decided to be a central part of the gameplay, the staff felt Roxas's role as a member would be a suitable theme for the plot. In Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, it is revealed that the X that is added to their names is derived from the concept of the Eye-Blade, an extremely powerful Keyblade that has the ability to directly unlock Kingdom Hearts. Several members appear in Kingdom Hearts 3D, Dream Drop Distance, having regained their hearts following the destruction of their Heartless and Nobodies. Members. Prior to the first game in the series, the 6 former disciples of Ansem the Wise became Heartless and their Nobodies created the organization. Members are numbered in the order in which they joined, with Xemnas, the Nobody of Xion, numbered 1 as their leader. Each member is given a cloak made of a special material that allows them to pass through the corridors of darkness into other worlds safely without being attacked by the Heartless there. Members are given titles indicating both their role in Organization 13 and their personality, as well as their own breed of lesser Nobodies to control, usually suited to their fighting style and unique themed powers. As Nobodies, they lack emotion and morality, and are unable to feel guilt and remorse for their actions. However, most of the members' personalities are based from what memories they have of their original selves. About half of the members were introduced in Kingdom Hearts: Chain of Memories, with the remaining members introduced in Kingdom Hearts II. In Chain of Memories, the series protagonist Sora and his friends Donald Duck and Goofy are led to a mysterious fortress called Castle Oblivion by members of the organization, who intend to turn Sora into their pawn by manipulating his memories. Sora's friend Riku also arrives at Castle Oblivion, but in the basement where he encounters other organization members. Sora and Riku traverse the levels of the castle to reach the top, fighting and defeating several members along the way. By Kingdom Hearts II, the actions of Sora and Riku, along with Roxas' resignation, reduce the organization to 7 members, who seek to use the power of Kingdom Hearts to become complete beings. The events of the game Kingdom Hearts 3D, Dream Drop Distance reveal that the true purpose of Organization 13's formation is for Master Xehanort, the true incarnation of Xemnas' human form, to place pieces of his own heart into the bodies of its other members, effectively transforming them into clones of Xehanort so he may use their 13 hearts of darkness to clash with the 7 hearts of light to recreate the Eye Blade. They also reveal that nobodies such as those in the organization are capable of developing hearts of their own over time, but are deceived by Xemnas into thinking they lack hearts so they can cooperate with his plans. Though the agenda was not realized for various reasons, a new Organization 13 was founded by recruiting not only the original selves of previous organization members who became half Xehanort, but also induct various incarnations of Xehanort himself like Xemnas and Ansem from across time itself. This gathering of Xehanort's incarnations was accomplished by a younger version of Master Xehanort granted the power of time travel by his future self, who also serves as a member of the new organization. Xemnas. XIII, also known as the Free Suitor, is Brake's nobody and the second member of Organization 13. XIII controls sniper nobodies, and attacks with a pair of ray guns, classified as arrow guns, called sharpshooter, which can be combined to form a sniper rifle. XIII can also manipulate space to teleport himself, warp his bullets, and levitate in battle. Because of his original self's ties to Xehanort, XIII is the only organization member who knows Xemnas' true intentions but realizes the plan is falling apart since the events at Castle Oblivion where they lost half of the members they gathered. During Kingdom Hearts 358/2 days, XIII shows interest in Roxas and drops several hints about his true nature. He finds out about the replica project much sooner than most of the members, and takes it upon himself to monitor Xion, smirking over how she assumes the form of Ventus from his perspective as she leaves the organization. XIII confronts Sora, whose glare reminded him of the look Ventus gave him ages ago, various times during Kingdom Hearts 2 until he reaches the world that never was, where he confuses him by calling him Roxas and cryptically mentioning his 3 predecessors. After losing to Sora, XIII refuses to answer Sora's on why he is calling him Roxas. XIII makes a surprising return in Dream Drop Distance and explains how he and Xemnas gathered a group of human-like nobodies to link to the Kingdom Hearts Roxas and Xion built. That way, Xemnas and XIII would turn themselves and the other 12 members into 14 Xehanorts. XIII is voiced by Haruo Etsuka and James Patrick Stewart in Japanese and English respectively. XIII, the Whirlwind Lancer, is the nobody of Dylan that uses wind to manipulate his 6 lances, named Lineworm, and to shield himself. XIII's lances can transform into a dragon-shaped contraption to attack opponents with whirlwinds. He controls the lance-wielding dragoon nobodies. Becoming a nobody to be free of emotion, XIII understands the setbacks of lacking a heart, but keeps a clear disdain towards people who follow their hearts, especially towards the Beast, who he becomes obsessed with as shown in 358 February days. XIII appears in Kingdom Hearts 2 where he primarily confronts Sora in the World Beast's castle, where he attempts to manipulate the Beast's rage to create a powerful nobody and heartless. Sora's intervention forces him to steal the Beast's enchanted rose and kidnap Belle to stoke the Beast's rage. Prior to their final confrontation at the Beast's castle, XIII clarifies that the organization needs Kingdom Hearts to become complete beings. His plans fail when Belle escapes with the rose, and XIII is defeated by Sora and the Beast, fading to nothingness. In Kingdom Hearts 3D, Dream Drop Distance, XIII's defeat results in the restoration of Dylan. XIII is voiced in Japanese by Yasuke Akimoto and in English by David Down Fisher. Vixen, also known as the Chili Academic, is Even's nobody. Vixen can control ice and carries a large shield called Frozen Pride in battle. In the Japanese version, Tatsuya Kando provided Vixen's simple battle expressions in Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories, and the late Gina Zor provided Vixen's voice acting in Kingdom Hearts 3, Chain of Memories and Kingdom Hearts, 358/2 days. Both characters' English voice acting is done by Derek Stephen Prince. As revealed in 358 February Days, Vixen experiments with the creation of replicas, the first of which is Xion. In Chain of Memories, Vixen occupies the basement of Castle Oblivion with Lexius and Xion, who he sides with to prevent Marluxia's plan to overthrow the organization, later being assigned to personally investigate Marluxia's intentions. He battles Riku in order to gather data to create a replica of him, and allows Namina Copyright to manipulate the replica's memories to test Sora's worth. After the replica fails to defeat Sora and Marluxia threatens to reveal the shortcoming to Xemnas, Vixen fights Sora himself and gives him a card to access Twilight Town in Castle Oblivion with the intention of revealing to Sora both Roxas' existence and Marluxia's plan. As a result, Marluxia declares Vixen a traitor and sends Axel to eliminate him, which Axel does by incinerating Vixen before he can reveal the truth to Sora, mainly to gain Marluxia's trust and prevent him from using Vixen's replica research. Vixen's death leads to Even's restoration in Kingdom Hearts 3D, Dream Drop Distance. Lexius is one of the two members of the organization in Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories that only appears in Riku's story mode. He is also known as the Silent Hero, and he employs a large axe sword, Sky Splitter, which is able to break rocks and shake the area itself with his elemental power of earth and superhuman strength, and is the nobody of Elias. In the Japanese version, Tatsuya Kando provided simple battle expressions for Lexius in Chain of Memories, but Fumihiko Tochiki replaces him in Chain of Memories and 358/2 days and voices Elias as well. In the English releases, Dave Boat voices the character. During the events of Chain of Memories, Lexius and Xion discover Marluxia's plans to overthrow the organization by capturing and manipulating Sora, and decide to capture Riku and use him in the same fashion to counter Marluxia. When they believe that Sora might fall into Marluxia's grasp, Lexius confronts Riku directly, trying to convince him to open himself up to the power of the darkness in his heart. After Riku defeats him in the original Chain of Memories, Lexius uses the last of his strength to release all of the darkness within him to consume Riku. In Chain of Memories, however, Riku is knocked unconscious by Lexius, only to be possessed by Xehanort's Heartless, who swiftly cuts Lexius down, the dying warrior lamenting his decision to battle Riku. Lexius's demise leads to Elias's revival in Kingdom Hearts 3D, Dream Drop Distance. In the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 opening for 358/2 days, Lexia's title is changed to Stalwart Taciturn. Xion, also known as the Cloaked Schemer, uses his power of illusion to mimic others' weapons, disguise himself as others, and create duplicates of himself. While it was unknown what was Xion's weapon in the original Chain of Memories, the remake Chain of Memories shows he uses a lexicon, the Book of Retribution, as his weapon. He is the nobody of Ienzo. Xion is voiced by Akira Ishida for the Japanese releases and Vince Carrazza for the English releases. Xion is one of two organization members who only appear in Riku's story mode in Chain of Memories. Xion initially plans to use Riku against Marluxia and his co-conspirators, but sees Riku to be of no use after Sora defeats Marluxia and attempts to destroy him. Using the card created by Axel from Sora's memories, Xion draws Riku into a simulation of Destiny Islands where he torments the Riku with his guilt over the islands being destroyed. He then assumes the guise of Sora and attacks Riku, engulfing him in light. However, Namina V Euro disguised as Carrier Euro intervenes to convince Riku to accept both light and darkness. With newfound confidence, Riku overpowers Xion, causing him to retreat. Afterward, Axel determines that Xion knows too much, and brings the Riku replica to Xion, convincing the replica that he can become real by gaining power that the real Riku does not have, which he does by killing Xion and taking his power as his own. Xion's death leads to the revival of an adult Enzo in Kingdom Hearts 3D, Dream Drop Distance. XIII, also known as the Lunar Diviner, is Isa's nobody with an X-shaped facial scar who can assume a berserker state of mind by using moonlight. Wielding a claymore called Lunatic, he commands the berserker nobodies who wield weapons similar to his. XIII joins the organization around the same time as Axel but, lacking the carefree personality and morals his original self had, uses Axel to become Xemnas' second-in-command, and feels betrayed when Axel befriends Roxas, putting his plan to get leverage over Xemnas on hold. XIII appears completely void of emotion and completely embraces his status as a nobody, yet continually reflects on previously having a heart. The character is voiced by Junpei Sato in Japanese while Kirk Thornton provided English. During Kingdom Hearts 358/2 days, XIII assigns missions to the other organization members. He is also assigned by Xemnas to oversee the progress of Xion, and is the one to discover Marluxia's plans to betray the organization with Luxine, sending Axel to eliminate them. Towards the end of the game, he attacks Roxas when he attempts to leave the organization, only to lose to the younger nobody. In Kingdom Hearts 2, XIII appears before Sora in Twilight Town to stir unrest in him by warning him of Axel's intention to turn him into a Heartless. He later appears after Sora defeats the Heartless army at Hollow Bastion, where he explains Sora's purpose in the organization's plans, and reveals to him that the organization are holding Carrie hostage, XIII having kidnapped her from Axel earlier, to ensure Sora keeps destroying Heartless for them. XIII fights Sora on the latter's climb through the castle that never was, using the moonlight from Kingdom Hearts to assume a berserker state, but Sora defeats him and he fades into darkness while pining for Kingdom Hearts to give him his heart back. In Dream Drop Distance, San X appears as one of the new organization's members, much to Lee's dismay. Axel, the flurry of dancing flames, is a nobody of Lee. Much like his original self, Axel wishes to achieve his own ideal of immortality by having everyone he comes in contact with remember him, saying the phrase "got it memorized" on multiple occasions. Entrusted to deal with organization traitors, Axel controls the assassin Nobodies, and fights with a pair of chakrams called Eternal Flames, and fire manipulation. Nomura designed Axel based on a similar concept as Reno from Final Fantasy VII. Nomura wanted to see what it would be like to have a similar character in a different role and world. The character is voiced by Keiji Fujiwara in the Japanese releases while Quinton Flynn provided the voice for English releases. Axel is assigned to Castle Oblivion during the events of Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories, pretending to join with Luxine and Marluxia in their plan to seize control of the organization. He kills Vixen to gain their trust, but finds himself confronting Sora while Marluxia uses Namin as a shield. While acting as Roxas's mentor in Kingdom Hearts 358/2 days, Axel befriends the new nobody as well as the other new member, Xion, causing a rift between himself and XIII, the nobody of his childhood friend Isa. Upon learning the truth that she is a replica, Axel reluctantly hides it from Roxas while being forced in hunting down Xion when she attempts to leave the organization. Once learning the truth, Roxas left the organization to Axel's dismay. Soon after, Axel recaptures Xion, refusing to let her sacrifice herself. During Kingdom Hearts 2, Axel is ordered by the organization to capture Roxas or kill him if he refuses to comply. Roxas refuses to return with Axel and defeats him before merging with Sora. Axel later begins acting on his own and kidnaps Carrie, but XIII takes her under Xemnas' orders. Axel later finds Sora in a pathway to the world that never was and chooses to fight the Nobodies with him. Outnumbered, Axel performs a suicide attack to save Sora, and using the last of his strength to open the entrance to the world that never was. When asked what he was trying to do, Axel admits he wanted to see Roxas. In Kingdom Hearts 3D, Dream Drop Distance, Axel makes a cameo in Lee's dream after his original self's revival. Lee is repeatedly called Axel as well by those who knew him. Demix is the organization's reconnaissance agent who is also referred to as the Melodious Nocturne. He is a slacker who would rather play his sitar arpeggio than go on missions, especially those that require him to perform physical labor. He is a smooth liar as he tricks Roxas into working in his place every time they are sent on missions together. He is constantly talked about behind his back by Roxas, Axel, and Xion on their ice cream breaks. Though he admits he is not much of a fighter, Demix has power over water, using it to create duplicates of himself. He also has control over the dancer Nobodies. Demix is voiced by Kenichi Suzumura and Ryan O'Donoghue in the Japanese and English versions of the series, respectively. Soon after appearing in Kingdom Hearts 2 at Hollow Bastion with the other Organization 13 members, he is assigned to look over Sora's progress in the organization's plan, much to his chagrin. Demix confronts Sora in the underworld of Olympus Coliseum, stealing a medallion called the Olympus Stone to protect him from the underworld's energy-reducing curse. After attempting to talk to Roxas through Sora, Demix pits him against his water copies, and leaves after losing. Demix later crosses paths with the protagonists again at Hollow Bastion, and battles them after they enrage him by mocking his nature as a nobody, but is defeated and fades into darkness. In his first chronological appearance in 358 February Days, Demix reluctantly participates in the mission Sex assigns to him out of fear of what Xemnas could do to him. Luxord is a nobody also known as the Gambler of Fate. He controls the Gambler Nobodies, can transform his foes into a card or a die and uses a deck of cards called Fair Game as offensive and defensive weapons. Luxord also has power over time, which he uses to force his opponents to play timed games. Luxord speaks formally, often suggesting rhetorical questions and using metaphors related to gambling and other games. The character is voiced by Joji Nakata in Japanese and Robin Atkin Downes in English. Luxord appears 358/2 days, where he assists Roxas in various missions on Wonderland, understanding the riddles of the Shishri cat quite easily while Roxas is stumped. Like most of the surviving members, he does not know about the replica project and Xion's origin until late in the game. Shortly after, he laments his subordination to the organization to Roxas. His next appearance was in Kingdom Hearts 2, where he reveals himself at Port Royal and revives the curse of the Aztec gold to create a Heartless, indirectly cursing Jack Sparrow in the process. Sora later frees Jack from the curse, but Luxord escapes without fighting Sora and his party. At the world that never was, Luxord traps Sora's companions in his cards, leaving Sora to fight alone in a game-like battle, but is defeated and fades into darkness, asking Roxas why he attacked him. Marluxia is Lord of Castle Oblivion and the main antagonist of Sora's story in Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories. Also known as the Graceful Assassin, he uses a scythe called Graceful Dahlia and power over flowers. In the Japanese version of the series, Tatsuya Kando provided simple battle expressions in Chain of Memories, and Shoiki Ikeda took over voice acting for Chain of Memories and 358/2 days, while Keith Ferguson provided the voice in the English releases. In Chain of Memories, Marluxia lowers Sora to Castle Oblivion so Namina Copyright can manipulate Sora's memories as part of his plan to take over the organization, giving Sora a set of cards allowing him to proceed through the castle. Marluxia assigns Axel to eliminate Vexen to prevent him from revealing the conspiracy to Sora. After kidnapping Namina Copyright in the aftermath of Larxene's death, Marluxia is confronted by Axel, who attempts to kill Marluxia for conspiring against the organization. However, Marluxia uses Namina Copyright to have Sora fight Axel for him. After Axel's defeat, Marluxia orders Namina Copyright to erase Sora's memories so he can rebuild Sora into his pawn, but she refuses. Marluxia engages Sora using an illusion of himself, but Sora finds the real Marluxia fused to a massive cloaked nobody and defeats him. Marluxia makes a minor appearance in 358 February days, training Roxas before he leaves for Castle Oblivion. Larxene, also known as the Savage Nymph, was first introduced in Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories, where she conspired with Marluxia to overthrow Organization 13. Larxene wields a set of knives called foudre, the French word for lightning, and uses the power of electricity to fight. Rude, impatient and loving to bring others down, Larxene is not well liked within the organization. Demyx fears her, commenting, "I like days when Larxene is out. I can play sitar instead of gopher." In the Japanese version of the series, the character was first voiced by Rigo Katayama in Chain of Memories, but Yuko Miyamura took over the role for the Japanese releases of Chain of Memories and 358/2 Days, while Shainal Workman provided her voice in the two titles' English releases. She first meets Sora in Chain of Memories and helps manipulate his memories by causing him to remember Namina Copyright's name. She then fights him and gives him new cards to access more areas of Castle Oblivion. After she discovers Axel's betrayal and sees that Marluxia's plans have fallen apart, she decides to reveal her and Marluxia's plans to Sora with the intention of killing him. However, Donald and Goofy arrive to assist Sora, and the three defeat Larxene, who fades into darkness. Larxene makes a minor appearance in 358 February days, reluctantly training Roxas before she leaves for Castle Oblivion. Roxas. Xion. True Organization 13. The True Organization 13, also known as the Seekers of Darkness, are various incarnations of Xehanort gathered into a group as embodiments of the 13 darknesses required to reforge the Eye Blade. Originally, while Ansem used Maleficent to capture the Princesses of Heart to provide the 7 lights of the Eye Blade, Organization 13's true goal was to turn its members in vessels for fragments of Xehanort's heart. Although the two plans were foiled, Master Xehanort devised forming a second Organization 13 consisting of various incarnations and/or existing vessels as members. In Kingdom Hearts 3D, 12 of Xehanort's incarnations and/or vessels gathered together across time and space to complete his/their ideal organization, with Sora about to be made into the 13th vessel/member, but certain forces interfered and Xehanort's organization had to fall back until the time that the Eye Blade will be recreated. Reception. The obscure nature of the organization's activities throughout Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories and Kingdom Hearts 2 have led reviewers to describe them as an ominous group that seems to be intent on guiding Sora and his friends to accomplish some dark purpose. Similarly, Riceburner of GamePro emphasizes this plot when reviewing the group's debut, noting how the strange inhabitants of the castle trap our heroes, and force Sora on a ponderous journey into his own memories to face his subconscious thoughts and fears. This mysterious perception is furthered by the fact that some members of Organization 13 present themselves as dark silhouettes with their faces covered, acting as an enigmatic robed and cowled figure speaking in riddles. These interrogatives surrounding the group have created expectation. Andrew Rayner of Game Informer included, "What secret lies behind Organization 13? As one of the main questions that are answered and that serve as plot devices in Kingdom Hearts 2, creating situations that certainly give you shivers and make your heart leap." Visually, the artwork of Organization 13's members is based more on the styles of Final Fantasy rather than those of Disney. Bethany Massimilla of GameSpot referred to their models as very much cut from the Final Fantasy spiky headcloth. While writing Bredigan's Kingdom Hearts 2 strategy guide, Beth Hollinger, Matt Berner, David Calzadi and Greg Sapelak reviewed the role of Organization 13's members as adversaries. Both Axel and Demyx were described as providing easier battles during their first encounters. The ones found later in the game were regarded as more difficult enemies, as is the case with Xaldin, Xigbar, and Saw-X, the first of which were described as tough and tricky opponents respectively, while the ferocity of Saw-X's berserk attack was noted. Luxad's battle was considered one that brings something new to the table, mostly based on the unique use of a time parameter instead of the common system based on health points. The various battles against Xemnas gathered different points of interest. During the first one, the writer praises the face-down reaction command, While the final Battle unregistered trademark S focuses on its difficulty and the need of constantly using reaction commands to switch between Riku and Sora. GameSpot's Kevin Van Ord noted in a preview of Kingdom Hearts 358/2 Days, that Xigbar's ranged magic proved helpful while fighting as an ally along Roxas. Individually, the members of Organization 13 have received varied receptions. Jeff Haynes of IGN felt that Roxas was a likable kid. Ron Fay of Eurogamer concurred, calling him a likable enough young chap who just happens to be troubled by memories and visions of people he doesn't even know. His playable involvement in the game was regarded as a transitional arc, being used to introduce the gameplay to players that are new to the franchise. Fay also considered it a good introduction, as it lets the player become familiar with the basic elements in a manner that isn't a bad way at all of setting the scene for the game. However, Rayner emphasizes his role as a troubled boy, calling his story arc an amazing chain of events, particularly noting that the revelation of his nature as a nobody creates a devilish yet remarkable plot twist, which may impact the player in a way that he may not want Sora back. The introduction of Xion in trailers for Kingdom Hearts 358/2 Days, created expectation, particularly based on the facts that her face could not be distinguished and that she wields a Keyblade. In the 2009 Nintendo Power Awards, the magazine's readers voted Xion the best new character of the year. Notes: in the video game series setting, beings comprise a body, heart and soul, known as a whole. When a heart is corrupted by darkness, the heart becomes a creature called a heartless. The transformation results in the body and soul becoming a creature called a nobody. Heartless and nobodies serve as the most common enemies the player must defeat in the games. In the video game series, the titular Kingdom Hearts is a repository of knowledge and power, and the source of all hearts. It is often a central plot point throughout the series. References. External links: Official Kingdom Hearts site, Disney's Kingdom Hearts site.